Everybody. Welcome to Tea Time. It's Monday night, 8 o'clock. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. We're going to have a great show. It is August 10th. I can't believe it, but, the month's going to go fast, and I know a lot of people don't mind because they can't wait for the summer to be over. Just going to talk about my weekend real quick and then get to my guest. Friday night, it was just a chill night at home. I just relaxed, didn't do much. Saturday, I had a rehearsal during the day for a pilot that I'm supposed to be filming, but we don't know what's going to happen yet. So I had rehearsal. And then Saturday night, I did a private gig. I did stand-up comedy for my friend's uncle's 50th birthday party. And it was great. And we had a good time. And then Sunday, I was in Holtzville for my girlfriend Erica's daughter's graduation party outside in the backyard, social distancing. She's going to Boston University, so I want to wish her all the best in the world. And that was my weekend. It was really, really quick. I say hello to Mike, everyone watching. Thank you for watching. Like the show and share it. I'm very excited to introduce my guest. She's an actor. She's an author. She was the host of Trading Spaces. Paige Davis is in the house tonight. Hi, Paige. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate you taking the time to be with me and my viewers.
It's my pleasure. I'm excited for all the stuff you've got going on. I know it's such an unusual time, though. You almost can't count on anything, can you?
I know, you really can't.
It's rough. It's so hard.
Thank you. It really is. But listen, I want to tell everyone about you because, everyone knows you from Trading Spaces, which was, a phenomenon within itself. But, you're originally a Philly girl, right? You're from Philly.
Born in Philly, Hahnemann Hospital, which is no longer there.
Really?
Yeah. Hahnemann Hospital's gone.
Well, your birth name is actually Mindy Paige Davis, right?
That's right. Paige is my middle name. And I started going by Paige when I started doing Trading Spaces. TLC actually asked me to go by my middle name.
Really?
Professionally, I'd already been using both names. I'd been going by Mindy Paige Davis because I was really wanting to incorporate Paige into my name. Had been trying to do it since college and was teased mercilessly by my family about it. They were like, "Oh, she's Mindy Paige now." I'm like, "No, just Paige. I just want to be called Paige." So
I'm jealous. I'm jealous because I don't have a middle name. My mother.
My aunt Eileen doesn't have a middle name either. Which is my mom does. Her sister, my mom, does have a middle name, which she hates. Well, I'm like, what is going on here? And my poor aunt was never even given one. But it was funny when TLC asked me to go by Paige, and I'm like, you don't understand. I've been trying to do this since I was 17 years old, and my family refuses. And I said, I want to do it so badly, but here's the deal. I'm currently engaged to a man whose last name is Paige. And at this point in my life, I want to become Paige. I'm into that.
That's hysterical because my friend's name is Joyce, and she married a guy whose last name is Joyce. So she's Joyce.
Did you take his last name?
She did.
Oh my God! I didn't. I stayed Davis, which is my maiden name.
Right.
Yeah.
So you won Mindy Paige Davis in Philly, and you traveled a lot. You actually went to middle school and high school in Louisville, right?
I moved around quite a bit as just circumstance. I wasn't an Army brat or anything like that. Just different things had us moving about, different reasons.
Yeah.
My mom actually, she married, a couple more times. And
I think we both have,
husbands were transferred for work, whatever. So from Philadelphia, when I was 4, I guess, we moved to Winchester, Virginia. And then for most of middle school, I lived in elementary school. I'm sorry. I lived in Madison, Wisconsin.
Right.
And then we moved to Jersey, southern Jersey, on the other side of the bridge from Philly.
Yeah.
Then Louisville, Kentucky. So finished elementary school in Jersey. Middle school and high school was Louisville, Kentucky.
Right. And then you went to Meadows School of the Arts at Southern Methodist University in Dallas.
Yeah, nice Jewish girl went to SMU. Can you believe it? My grandmother was like, are they going to convert you if you go down there? I'm like, no, it's a liberal arts school. It was just originally, it was founded by a Methodist organization, but it wasn't a religious school at all.
That's so funny. So, but listen, let's go back to when you were 13 and you heard, I think, your mom playing West Side Story or something.
She had an album collection. Right? She had an album collection like anybody's parents would and did. Mm-hmm. And I played that album kind of out. I wore it out. I loved it. I was completely smitten by it. I could picture everything. And I started acting out that album, to myself, like downstairs, just like playing by myself, acting out the Jets and the Sharks and Maria and Tony. And I mean, Anita.
I actually did that show in high school. I was a shark girl dancer.
I was Anita.
Oh, nice. Great role. Great role.
I just posted some pictures from that on Facebook, actually. And they're so wild to look back on, and it's so politically incorrect. I mean, I spray painted my hair with black. It was hair spray paint. It was meant for the hair, but I spray painted my hair black because, of course, if you were Puerto Rican, obviously you would have black hair.
Yeah.
As any girl from Louisville, Kentucky at age 15 would think. I mean, it's just, I look back on it now, I'm just like, it's so cringeworthy. Of course, now I could do for some black hairspray.
I know.
I'm letting the roots grow.
And you know what? Good for you. Good for you. Now you're like a silver fox.
That's right. That's right. I'm seeing I'll see what happens. But nobody believed me that I was praying. Nobody ever believed me. I'm like, here's the proof.
You know what? Either some of us have very little of it or some of us have a lot of it. And then because of this COVID thing, I wrote a joke, because I do stand-up comedy too. I wrote a joke of how very, very high maintenance women, which you and I are not, but very high maintenance women during this COVID, their hair extensions are falling out, their lashes are falling off, their gel nails are cracking, and it's like, the grays are coming in. By the time this is over, no one's going to recognize them when they go back out into society.
I have found it very, very freeing.
Liberating, right?
I have a TV gig that's coming up at the end of August, a game show I'm doing.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if I can say, I guess I could say.
Yeah.
$100,000 pyramid.
Nice.
I've done it before, and I get to go on again as, one of the celebrity, people to help the people win.
Nice.
And it's really fun. So I am going to go ahead and color my roots for that. But I'm trying to think of like some cool like ombre thing I can do. But I have to say, like, one of the kind of blessings of COVID was just not having to worry about it, and you weren't going anywhere, and I wasn't on camera, and it didn't matter, and nobody cared.
Right.
And, my hair grows really fast, actually. And so I have to get it colored. Well, usually every 2 weeks. I really can't even go 2.5 weeks. And after 4 or 5 days, I'm already doing root concealer. So I spend over half my month. Like if I reach up and I scratch my head and I'm like, ugh, I got brown all over my fingers now. And it's like, I do not miss that. I have to say, I don't miss worrying about it. Yeah. I don't miss the upkeep. I don't miss that.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I really don't. I like it. I really do. I like it. Some people wear it well. My dad didn't start going gray till he was in his 50s.
Oh, wow. I just hit 50, but I've been gray forever.
My mom started turning gray when she was 19.
Yeah.
So she was so she was like full-fledged gray. I'm lucky. I mean, this has been almost a month. I'm pretty lucky, but it comes in on the side.
I'm sorry. I'm leaving this Zoom right now. Bye.
It comes in over here. Over here, you'll see a little, and over here. But I think take after my dad.
This is just so not fair.
Sorry, but I'm very hairy. I'm 100% Sicilian. I'm hairy from head to toe.
Oh, okay. That's fair. That's a good trade. That's fair. That's fair. Okay.
Listen, I want to just say some shout outs. Hello, Sally. Hello, DB. Hello, Denise DiCarlo. Hello, Grace Matranga. Hello, Carol. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I know everyone loves you, Paige, and I'm so excited, like I said, that you're here tonight with me. There's so much to talk about. There's just so much to get to. So everyone, like the show and please share it. So listen. So after college, okay?
Followed a man.
I was going to say, what did you do and what was your first professional gig?
Well, I'd already been working professionally through college.
Okay.
I did summer stock all through school. And my first job out of college, I followed a man, a Jewish man, to Los Angeles.
My grandmother's dream was for my sister and I to marry nice Jewish men.
Jewish men make really good husbands, I have to say.
My sister married Michael Goldfarb. Okay, so my grandmother was very happy.
I think that's good. I mean, they really are kind of taught to be mensches, and that's how they grow up. And he was a very good man. It's true. And I really loved his family. I don't think I was so much in love with him as I was in love with the idea of him and his family. And I mean, I liked him plenty. I loved him. I did love him. I mean, I was prepared to marry the man. I did love him.
Yeah.
But I think he was in love with the idea of me too.
Right.
But he was a year ahead of me. And so he had already moved to Los Angeles. So he had the chance to kind of, I don't know, put the stake down to follow his dream first, which was Hollywood and movies. So even though my dream was actually Broadway
theater,
in New York, if I wanted to be with him, I kind of went out that way. So Los Angeles was a bit of a 6-year detour.
Okay. And then your first Broadway gig was what?
My first show on Broadway was the musical Chicago. But I had done the national tour of Beauty and the Beast before that. So that was my first big equity job. My first job out of college was working for the Long Beach Civic Light Opera. I did a production of Hello, Dolly with Nell Carter and Nipsey Russell. Oh, wow. Now. And that was great. But it was difficult to do theater in Los Angeles, really difficult to do any kind of stage work. It's just not, it's not what happens there. So most of my work in Los Angeles was really what I would call industrials. Like I danced for LA Gear. I danced for Shackley Vitamins all over the world. I danced for Nike. I danced for Canon. Oh my God. I was with the Beach Boys. I toured with the Beach Boys.
With the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a cool gig.
It was wild. It was truly wild. And I went all over the world. Wow. Dancing has definitely brought me all over the world. And then my first actual equity job, well, I guess Hello Dolly was equity, but I was hired non-equity. I wasn't one of the equity contracts.
Right.
So I got my equity contract doing Beauty and the Beast, the first national tour of Beauty and the Beast.
Wow. And you did a chorus line.
That was a regional production. Yep. In Austin.
You were blonde.
I was trying to go white. I was actually trying to go platinum. I don't look good as a blonde. That's why I'm not going to keep the gray. Not until I'm older.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, I played Val, the tits and ass girl.
You did. You sang something.
Dance 10 looks 3.
Dance 10 looks 3. Yeah. That's great. I saw the show. I loved it. I loved Chorus Line. But I want everyone to know what shows you were in. You were in a chorus line. You at 1995 to 97, you were in Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
And that's where you met your current husband.
That's right. He was Lumiere and I was Babette.
I saw him when he was Lumiere. I saw him.
Oh, where? Do you remember?
It was in the city. It was in the city.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But you also did.
We met on tour, but he came into the Broadway company when we got back.
Yeah, you guys were friends first, which is great. Great. And you 2003, you did Vagina Monologues. 2005, you did Sounds of Music. You played Maria. 2007, Taking a Chance. And that I really want to talk to you about, Taking a Chance, because that was a solo cabaret, right? And you really reflected on your childhood. Was it more like a one-woman show, or was it?
It's so funny. I don't even remember. I do think, if I recall correctly, I mean, it was a long time ago, and I only did it for those performances in Austin.
Okay.
So it was only 2 nights. And was it as late as 2004?
This is 2007.
Well, I'll be.
I could be wrong.
We're still talking over 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I do think it was relatively biographical.
Because Because you talked about your childhood, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a mishmash of songs that they weren't necessarily songs that, showcased a voice or celebrated the music. It was more like these songs will help tell the story. So it was a weaving of that. And that was, I feel like everything in my career is people being worn down until someone says yes. So like my audition for Trading Spaces, like when I booked Trading Spaces, it was after literally clawing my way into the audition. I couldn't get an audition. Wow. It was so silly. It became this like.
Now, was it because you came from theater?
Yes, that's exactly why. I didn't have television experience on my resume.
Why does our industry have a problem with crossing over different? I don't understand it.
I think, well, first of all, it was a genre that was not around yet, reality television, correct. Which is why when I was having trouble getting the audition, I actually eventually called the head of TLC. And I left a voicemail message and I said, look, I didn't even think I wanted the job. This is the truth. I was just like, at this point, I was like, oh, I'm getting an audition. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. I can't even be seen.
Yeah.
So, because it was my best friend who had told me, they're having this audition and you're perfect for it. And I was like, well, I've never done TV and I don't have a background in interior design. And I've never hosted anything, so how am I perfect for this? And she was like, I just know it. And she was really pushing me to go for it. So eventually I just called and I left a message and I said, hey, I'm looking to audition for this show. And, I really think that my background in theater and my training in improv are really ideally suited to what I understand is an unscripted show.
Yep.
I would just like a chance to be seen. So I went down, I did the audition, and I didn't book it. And everybody in the room had basically told me I was going to book it, but I didn't.
Wow.
They said, my agent called me and she said, well, I don't know what happened, but you can go down to Philadelphia. They will see you at the end if there's time. And I was the last person to be seen, and I was almost not seen. They were wrapping up the equipment and someone's like, no, there's one more girl. We really should see her. And I got seen and everything changed and everyone was talking to me as if I had the job and I didn't. So then the executive producer was like, I'm doing a callback tape for you. So he trained me up to Westchester, made his in-laws pretend to be neighbors, did a whole fake audition tape all over again and turned it in to the head of TLC. And she said, look, I liked her first tape. She's adorable, but how do I know she can handle a whole series? So they had more auditions.
Wow.
He kept refusing to hire me, and they all kept refusing to agree on anybody else. So I literally got the audition by wearing people down, got the job by someone being worn down. That cabaret, my really close friend Stuart runs Austin Cabaret Theater, and he'd been on me for years. You've got this name now with Trading Spaces and you should do a cabaret. I'm like, Stuart, I hate to sing. I don't sing. It's not my passion. It's not what I want to do. He would ask me every year. Well, then I wasn't doing Trading Spaces. I didn't have another job. And he asked me and I thought, well, I do have the time.
Right.
And so after like 6 years of him asking me, I said, okay. And he was like, wait, what?
He wore you down.
He wore me down. And so when he would fly to New York, we rehearsed in New York on his visits here, and took about a year to put it together. And then I went to Austin and did the show, but I would have never done that on my own. It literally took someone like, come on. And finally I just agreed. I acquiesced.
Wow. Yeah. And that was your solo cabaret. That was it. Listen, I'm going to take a quick break for my sponsors. I want everyone to stay where you are because we're going to be back in like a minute. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
We all get married with no intention to get divorced and want that happily ever after. Unfortunately, 50% of marriages don't survive. Kim Tinsley can help you navigate, negotiate, and mediate your divorce. Please give Kim a call at 516-972-3214. That's 516-972-3214. So where do you want to go tonight?
Are you bored?
Oh my God!
Hold on tight. We're gonna coast this.
Well, hi there, Teresa. It's John York from General Hospital. I am just checking in because apparently you have a great talk show called Tea Time on Strong Island TV. I want you to have continued great success and have a lot of fun. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun, and that's pretty much the key to everything, isn't it? So continued success. I'm proud of you. Have a great day, Teresa. Bye.
Mention rescuing fans.
You're on.
Okay, hi everybody, I'm back. It's tea time. Thank you so much for joining me. I want to thank John York from General Hospital for giving me a shout out for my show Tea Time. Thank you, John. I had on last week Carolyn Hennessy, his co-worker there who plays Diane Miller on General Hospital. So thank you for the shout out. And I want to say real quickly before I get back to Paige, Rescuing Families is a nonprofit organization and they're having a fundraiser this weekend. The address is 1010 Lewiston Street in Franklin Square. Please come. This is an organization that's dear to my heart, and I've been a part of it for a long time. They help families with people with special needs. They renovate their homes, Paige, and they put in ramps for wheelchairs, and they renovate bathrooms, and they do such wonderful jobs. Google Rescuing Families and look them up. They've been on TV. They've been in the paper. They get great publicity, but you know what? They could always use help, and they sell great things. So go there. It's like 1,700 square feet of backyard and tents, and they social distancing. They only allow so many people in at a time, and they have beautiful things. Go there and spend some money. The money goes to a great cause. Okay, for my friends, Gina. Yes, Gina. Okay, so Gina and Vinny. Oh my God, I went blank on a husband for a quick minute. Sorry, Vin. All right, so I'm back with Paige. Paige, this is a great organization, Rescuing Families, and they do so much for so many people in need with special needs and disabilities. Okay, so listen, I'm back with Paige, and we'll be talking about your theater career. And a lot of people don't know that you're a theater girl. And in 2008, you did the national tour of Sweet Charity. And 2008, you did Boeing. You played Gloria. But in 2009 was a very special year because you did I Do with your husband. There you go. So how was it working with him?
Well, of course, we met working together.
Yes.
So
yes.
It wasn't that hard. It was a little.
You both weren't the two of you both the main characters?
He can hear me.
Oh, he could hear you.
It was a little harder for me than it was for him.
Both the leads in the show, right? You were both the leads.
Well, I think it was a natural dynamic for us to fall into because one, he is a more dominant and domineering personality. Mm-hmm. I mean, I hate to admit it, but he is a man. He's older than me. And he also he's a wonderful teacher and has even been my teacher.
Yes.
Long after we were together. He became and so he's been my teacher, and he's also a very accomplished director in his own right. So,
and he has an amazing voice.
Yes, that does not help me necessarily, but he can teach me how to support my voice better, which is good. So it's natural that sort of dynamic would be set up, but sometimes it was a little more frustrating for me when It's like, okay, but you're not actually our director. You're my co-star and you are my husband. So stop it. I was having trouble with the kind of I don't know if you would call it like the penultimate scene, I guess. It's like right before the end of the show. And Agnes in that play, I Do, she has kind of a breakdown, and she hits that moment in life, especially marriages that came through the turn of the century, where she's done everything for everyone else and she doesn't know who she is. The kids are grown, and I was having a lot of trouble landing the monologue in that. And one night we're in the apartment in San Diego, and Patrick's just a little drunk, and he's like, it's like this, and then he just performed the whole thing.
He did the whole monologue.
And I was like, oh, thank you for that. I mean, you know how you're not supposed to give a line reading? Like he gave a monologue reading, like a whole thing.
Wow.
And he was right. And I never did it quite like that. I mean, I certainly couldn't memorize everything he had just done.
Yeah.
But he did unlock for me what it was really about. And I was so bitter. So bitter, which frankly actually helped the monologue quite a lot. So I guess there was a method to his madness.
God, that's great. No, that's hysterical, really. And then again, in 2013, you did Chicago. You played Roxy Hart. I mean, that's like the ultimate.
Well, I had been in the musical Chicago since 1998.
Yeah.
On and off.
Yeah.
I had done the national tour. I had gone to Portugal with the company. I'd been on Broadway in the ensemble. Mm-hmm. I'd always covered Roxy. I'd understudied Roxy. Right. I covered Chita Rivera, actually.
Oh, my God.
I was her understudy. So then in 2003, I went back into the Broadway company, but actually in the role as Roxy, not as an understudy.
Nice.
That was pretty incredible.
And then
that's a real...
In 2014,
that's a highlight for sure.
Lessons in Pennsylvania. Tell me about dancing lessons.
Dancing Lessons is another really big highlight. I mean, it's not as flashy as Chicago on Broadway, but Dancing Lessons is a beautiful play.
I read it, and I was like, I want to see this.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's not a musical. I know it's called Dancing Lessons, but it's not a musical.
Yeah.
It is written by Mark St. Germain, one of my favorite playwrights, wonderful man. We're dear, dear friends. And one of the reasons why it was so special for my career, not just for my soul, is that I originated the role. So that was the first production of it. And it was starring me and John Cariani, who a lot of people know from Broadway. And he was nominated for a Tony for that Fiddler on the Roof way back when. And he's a magnificent talent. He wrote Almost Maine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's an incredible playwright. And that play's done all over the country. Yeah. Anyway, Dancing Lessons is the story of an injured dancer who ends up befriending, it's a very unlikely friendship between an injured dancer and a man who suffers from Asperger's.
Right. And
how they each help each other come out of their bitterness and darkness and really grow into themselves through the friendship. It's a beautiful friendship. It's not a love story like you would think.
Yeah.
But it is a romantic comedy.
Right.
And it's beautiful and funny. God, it's funny. Really funny and touching and not a dry eye in the house.
Do you think you'll revive that again somewhere, someday?
Well, it's been done actually many times. We've tried to revive it. We really want to do it off Broadway, but we've run into a lot of obstacles. It's very difficult to get things up. I don't have a lot of patience for cruel critics. I don't mind someone having an opinion as to whether something was achieved or not. I don't mind somebody critiquing something within its own genre. Right? I don't think you can critique Escape to Margaritaville in the same way that you would critique the revival of King Lear. Like, I don't think these things are not trying to be the same thing.
Right.
And I don't think it's fair to critique them the same way.
Right.
But nobody sets out to do something bad. And when something has made it to Broadway, do you know the number of years and months and sacrifices and money and people and energy and soul and spirit and like, you know, just to watch it and then critique with kindness.
Right. Just be
I just don't understand it.
You don't have to like it, but you don't have to be nasty about it.
Yeah. Like, come on. And if you're going to say something bad, make sure you're saying it with perspective, context, you know, historical relation to things that have come before it.
Right.
You know, what else is currently in the landscape? Like all of that.
Yeah, definitely.
That's my soapbox for the day.
For you. I also want to talk about, before we get to Trading Spaces, you in 2004, I don't know what year it was. You're going to have to correct me, but you were
like, this is your life.
You can correct me. This is your life. You were the first woman to play the ultimate and heavenly role of God.
Yes, an act of God. Well, you know, what's interesting is
directed by Marsha Mason.
Yes, incredible, right?
Adore. I was a big fan of The Goodbye Girl. And you were the first woman to play God because Jim Parsons did it and Sean Hayes did it, but then you did it.
Then I did it. Yeah, I was in the first regional production of that. So on Broadway, and I believe Sean Hayes, he did it in San Francisco too. They did it on Broadway, and it was directed by like I'm looking right at him in my brain. It'll come to me in a second. No, the Broadway production.
You mean the one that he did? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then the first regional production of that show was done in Arizona, and Marsha Mason directed. And
how lovely was that?
It was harrowing. Well, amazing to work with her. That was beyond lovely. She's a magnificent director, and I've always appreciated her kindness and her love and her tolerance and her insight. Because she's such a magnificent actor in her own right, I think she also can communicate to actors very well as a director. So she can handle the aspects of the directing that are the bigger parts, but then she also knows how to go in and do the more detailed work. And it was thrilling. I still can't believe I know her. It's like when I went to her apartment for the first time, I went to the front desk and I was like, Paige Davis for Marsha Mason. Like, I couldn't believe it was coming out of my mouth. When she came to rehearse at my apartment, she actually beat me here. I'd gone to the supermarket and she was in the lobby and I knew she was there. She only beat me by like literally less than a minute.
Yeah.
So I was right there. I was right on her tail. And I'm like walking toward the front entrance of my apartment and she's already inside.
Right.
And the door person in the daytime is this woman named Miriam, who is even a little older than me. And I'm walking toward the front and she's looking at me and she knows that Marsha's like right there. And I could see Miriam looking at me outside going like, I'm like, no. So then I come in and I'm like, hi, Marsha.
That's great.
But like we're doing all this secret like hand gesturing as I'm like walking toward the front entrance of my building.
Wow, that is wild. But I want to also, you know, you mentioned Trading Spaces. So it took you like forever and you finally got this gig and it ran what, 8 seasons, right?
It did. I was not the host of the first season.
Right.
That was a woman named Alex McLeod. But your good friend Doug Wilson was on, obviously. All the original designers were on the first season.
Yes, they were. And then you did this, it was an Emmy-nominated show, which really paved the way to all the home improvement shows that are on today. And there's so many of them.
It was truly a catalyst for a whole new genre of television. I mean, it didn't really exist yet.
Absolutely.
Reality was just on the cusp of happening, and of course DIY programming and decorating programming. I mean, we had like Bob Vila and even Martha Stewart was on the horizon and everything, but those were experts, right? Yeah. And they were doing the work and showing you how to do it. Trading Spaces well, one, made it super fun, not dry, but also was kind of the first program to put the tools into the homeowners' hands. Right. So they were doing it. And I think the fact that we were doing it in a short amount of time for a little bit of money, and the neighbors themselves, the homeowners themselves were doing the work, is what kind of allowed the viewing audience in America to go, hey, I could do that.
Right,
and I could spruce up my home.
A paintbrush and change my
And
color.
it kind of made interior design not so snooty,
Scary
or snooty, either one, right? You could do something to your home and not feel like, yeah, I spruced up my home, and people wouldn't go, oh, la-di-da,
But then you had a reboot in 2018, right? And and the promo got 10 million views. The trailer got 10 million views. Let me tell you something. Trading Spaces was one of my favorite shows. My daughter and I would watch it all the time. And we'd be like, are they going to like it? Are they not going to like it? Oh my God. What's Hildy doing now? What is she going to do? And Doug is a little crazy because, I mean, listen, I loved everybody and I love their insight and I love their creativity. But if I had to pick someone to do a room in my home, it would probably be Vern. Or it probably,
I love Vern, but that's such a,
I know it's safe. I know,
easy answer.
Or may he rest in peace, someone we both love, but you knew him personally, and that's Frank.
Yeah. Speaking of Doug, I think it hit Doug almost hardest of all. That was a huge shock for all of us. And I'm going to cry just even thinking about it. Doug and Hildy actually called me. They tried to call everybody real quick. Not that his Trading Spaces family is the end all be all of his family, but it's just, I think they knew that we would be inundated with questions and they didn't want us finding out any other way.
Right.
So his wife, Judy, told Doug, and Doug told Hildy, and the two of them kind of called all of us so we would be prepared, just, because obviously people are going to, because we're in the public eye, people are going to start texting us like crazy. So it was very, very sweet that they were able to do that. He did not die of COVID, but it's very, very sad that it happened during this time because, of course, it made going to Katy, Texas for a funeral virtually impossible. And, that's been a really sad thing during this time, is that you have the immediate loss and tragedy, and then it's compounded by this extra loss of not being able to grieve the way we're used to being able to grieve. We have to figure out a new way. I lost my uncle to COVID this year. He was elderly, and that's why he went so quickly.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know how many years he had left, but the fact that I couldn't, he was a very special person to me and very much like a father to me. So the fact that I couldn't be there to hold his hand, in the circumstance.
I lost a few people too. And it's the not being able to say final goodbyes the way we're used to.
The way we're used to being able to do it.
We're trying to now plan memorials and, do it in other ways. We just did one a couple of weeks ago for my girlfriend who passed away, not from COVID also, but it was on the beach. She loved sunsets. So we did it on the beach sunset, and there was music, and they did the balloons that you put the fire underneath and you let them go and you set them free.
Oh, wow.
It was a beautiful service, and it's not the same, but we knew that she was there in spirit with us, and that was our way of paying homage to her, and just just doing something.
That actually sounds really lovely.
It was beautiful. It was simply beautiful. But with Trading Spaces, your sister also worked on Trading Spaces.
She did. Do you cut back and forth to pictures on this? Because if you put up a picture of her, she'll literally hunt you down and kill you.
No.
I wanted to post pictures of her, and I literally have to do censor bars and things like that. She's.
No, I have no pictures.
Okay, good. Yeah, my sister is a rock star. I mean, this is an example of where, what do they call it when you hire your family?
Nepotism.
This is where nepotism worked brilliantly. She's 6 years younger than me, and so she was a lot younger then, and she was always looking for gigs and jobs and things to do. So I'd fly her out like wherever we were, and she would work as a local.
Yeah.
We hired local PAs. But she'd stay with me in my hotel room, and I'd take care of everything, and she'd get paid her $100 a day or whatever. And she was fantastic. She started training PAs. I had the production, the people who were like in charge of the PAs, they were like, when's your sister coming back out? And we always know we can put her in charge. I was like, this is great. I was so proud of her.
I was so excited when I actually read that. I was like, how cool is that? Like, I would love to do that with my sister. You know, my sister and I are 2 years apart. My brother,
that's nice.
My brother and I are 10 years apart. So it's like, but that's cool. You know,
one of the things my sister was really into was being a stage manager. She really loved that. And she did a lot of that when she was growing up too. And I think she had some aspirations at the time of like being like a professional stage manager, like being on Broadway as a stage manager.
Right.
So that kind of production world, behind the scenes, do anything and everything, make it happen kind of attitude is just in her.
Yeah.
And so she fit right into a production set like it was nothing. She was great.
Awesome. But in 2004, because I have to talk about this, Oprah surprised you with Nate Berkus doing over your New York City apartment.
I know. Like, how freaking crazy is that?
It's already 16 years ago. Now, according to you, you loved everything he did because obviously you had a consult with him of, you know, what you and Patrick liked.
We did. We definitely didn't know what would happen. It was a surprise to us. You know, it was kind of turn the tables on Paige. So the homeowners on Trading Spaces have no say in what happens in their own room while they're working on their neighbor's room.
Right.
So Patrick and I had, you know, no say in what happened to our apartment. We didn't have to do anything. We just had to get out. But he asked,
right? 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
He asked to see pictures and things like that. And then he just did whatever he wanted. And he completely renovated the entire space. Like all these shelves behind me, this was all built and he put all that in.
I love it.
Kitchen.
Beautiful.
All of that. He did everything. I mean, furniture, appliances, all of it. It was.
Here's my question, Paige. You want to renovate tomorrow. You want to re-renovate tomorrow. 16 years later, what design are you picking from Trading Spaces?
From Trading Spaces? Well, I would, that's really hard.
I know.
I have to say that's really, 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 really hard. I guess I would say Doug, but I would also be very happy if Genevieve did my place, and I would also be very happy if Laurie did my place, and I would also, honestly, I would be most intrigued and most excited by Hildy doing it.
Yeah.
I really would.
Well, I mean, listen, this is a woman who put flowers on walls, and
I loved that bathroom, and so did that couple, by the way. I would just like to say that they loved it.
They loved it. Between her flower and then the cardboard furniture.
They did not love that.
That was a little over the top, but
they did not love that. But remember, that was a guest room.
Yeah. And
that was official furniture that she ordered and bought. That was not stuff that she just came up and like they built out of their butt. You know, that it was sold that way. She ordered that like that. It's supposed to come like that. So that's not entirely crazy.
Yeah, you're right. But the one that sticks out, I'm sure for many, is what was her name? Jessie? Was her name Jessie? The one with about the brown room.
The homeowner, Jessie. Yes. Well, that was Laurie. That was Laurie.
I'm gonna beat the crap out of her. All I remember is her freaking out. And I'm going, is she serious? Is she serious right now?
She was dead serious. And do you know that I didn't think she was serious because I'll tell you why. She kind of did this like smile thing, and I thought, is she putting this on and she's about to laugh? But it wasn't. It was a genuine nervous laughter.
Right, because she was freaking out. She's like, I don't like brown. I don't like brown. I don't like brown. And I'm like, so you just repainted. Don't freak out.
You know that to the best of my knowledge, in all, and we're talking hundreds of episodes of Trading Spaces. Hundreds.
Yeah.
I mean, we did 75 episodes a season.
Yeah.
So, and 2 rooms per episode.
Yes. Yes.
That is the only time that I know of where it actually ended a friendship.
Wow.
First of all, let's just be clear, 90% of the time, everybody loved it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we remember the I hate it because they were so rare.
Correct.
Of all the times, and there were a number of them that people hated it.
Yeah.
They were always fine with it. They were like, oh yeah, I hate it. I'm mad, but I still love you.
Right.
And the homeowner, the neighbors would say, we'll help you fix it, whatever. And so it was like a bittersweet end, right? But apparently Jessie is her name, and we called her Angry Jessie. There was the chat boards are so mean. There was Crying Pam, Angry Jessie, Yellin' Ellen from the Hildy did a dining room.
I guess today they'd call her a Karen, right?
Right. And so we called her Angry Jessie, and she stopped talking to them. And she was legit trying to strangle her friend, her neighbor. She was choking her. Wow. And it dawned on me, first, like I said, she was kind of smiling. And then what we realized is that was legit nervous laughter. She was angry.
Right. I mean, she probably didn't know
that woman down.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my God.
Over a room.
Yeah, no, it's like life's so short, man. I'm like, I was getting upset for her, and I'm like, please don't explode, don't because you could see it building, and I'm like, no, don't. Well,
and I don't know if you remember the homeowner. She was blonde. I don't know if you remember her, and she was like, wait, are you
right?
Are you really angry?
Yeah, she didn't know either.
Oh my God! I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Now, here's the thing so this is what I want your viewers to understand.
Yes.
People will say, if you knew she didn't want brown, why did you do that? I need for people to understand there was no Machiavellian strategy.
Right. She never said she liked brown, right?
Not in the pre-interviews, never said anything. It was nowhere in the paperwork. It did not exist. You have to understand, if you're going to do these rooms in 2 days, the designers have to show up, the plan in place. The shopping has been done.
Right.
And in the case of Laurie, her fabrics were everything. She had already purchased her fabrics, shipped them to, I believe that was in Las Vegas. So she shipped them from where she lived in Mississippi to Las Vegas, had already purchased paint to incorporate her fabrics. And we show up for the television show, and they're doing the interviews that are actually going to air on TV.
Yeah.
And the woman says, I hate brown, just anything but brown.
And that's the first time everyone heard it.
You can bet your bottom dollar the producers are going to use that soundbite because they know what room Laurie's playing. But so of course they use a soundbite for good television, but it wasn't premeditated.
Right. It wasn't done maliciously.
No, not at all. But it was done cleverly for the edit. Of course you're going to pull that out. That's drama. It was served up to them.
Everyone has to know that. Listen, we're going to take another quick break. Everyone, don't go away. Another minute, we'll be back. All right, with Paige Davis, because there's so much more to talk about. We're running out of so much time. So stay right there. We'll be right back.
So where do you want to go tonight?
Why don't we go to Coasters?
Oh, cool. I heard it's a great place. Let's check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Oh my God. We all get married with no intention to get divorced and want that happily ever after. Unfortunately, 50% of marriages don't survive. Kim Tinsley can help you navigate, negotiate, and mediate your divorce. Please give Kim a call at 516-972-3214. That's 516-972-3214.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Tea Time. Hello, Beatrice. Hello, Donna. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Please like the show and share it. I'm with Paige Davis. My God, this woman, she's an actor. She was host of Trading Spaces. She was an author. We're going to talk about her book real quick now. It was called A Year of Trading Spaces, Page by Page. And you're a best-selling author. This is a best-selling book. What made you write a book?
Somebody asked me to.
And don't say no.
I've been blogging and doing some stuff, and so I was asked to do it, and I said, I can try to do that. I really do like to write. It's laborious for me. I can't say that it's easy for me
That's
to
how
write.
I feel. I feel the same way.
But I still enjoy it. It's an easy book. I mean, it really is just a journal. It's not Hemingway. It's not a brilliant, like.
But how fun is that?
It ain't Victor Hugo.
It's almost like a souvenir from Trading Spaces.
It's really neat, and it gave me a real another reason to travel the country and do press and everything. And
because
it was a bestseller. I was number 3 for weeks and weeks and weeks.
I know, it's great. And then with the reboot of Trading Spaces, which I was very, very upset that it didn't stay on.
Nobody watched it.
Yeah, well, I don't know why. Okay, I really don't know why.
Because,
all right?
I'll tell you why.
What's your
Because
take on it?
there's the landscape is full now. I mean, it was novel, but we didn't really bring back the old show. Out of necessity, it had to be amped up and different. That show was for its time. It was lightning in a bottle, and there are just countless reasons why it was popular when it was popular, and one of them is that it's when it was.
Right. Timing.
Yeah, timing is
all about
everything.
timing. But I have to say, I loved the reunion show that you did.
It was great to be together again. It really was.
I loved it. But we only have got like 3 minutes left. This sucks. It went so fast. Okay, so I just want to say that you were interviewed back in 2004. So we're going back a while ago it was called Where Magazine. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You were interviewed, and I have to say, you said something that hit a chord with me and almost got me a little verklempt, because I can so relate to this. You were almost growing up a people pleaser, and you're quoted as saying that your mom was always critical of you, and that you were always trying to, tell me if I'm misquoting, but that, you always were trying to please people. And then there came a time in your life, I think during maybe Trading Spaces or before that, where you said, you know what, I have to do things for me and not worry about pleasing everyone all the time. And I know my mom, and I just had this conversation with her not that long ago, because I'm 55, and my mom's very critical of me too, to the point where it hurts of how she says it. So the last time she said something to me, I said, you know what, Ma? I said, unless you have something nice to say to me, don't say it at all, because the way you're saying it's not coming out nice, and it hurts. And she apologized to me, not realizing how critical she is of me and how it sounds when it comes out and how it makes me feel. So I think that we kind of hit like a little milestone with me.
I was going to say, did that kind of transform your relationship with her?
Yeah, I mean,
old habits die hard. I wouldn't expect her to just completely transform overnight, but
right.
You felt like maybe you might have hit a little bit of an understanding that she's going to try.
I hope so. We'll see, because they're in Florida and they're coming back tomorrow, and they have to quarantine for 2 weeks, and hopefully I'll find out.
We'll say. I mean, I really
it comes from a place of love. I
need to cut my mom some slack here, because I mean, I may have said that, and my mom was like that, but this is going to sound a little odd, maybe a little not twisted like Psycho, but like backward somehow.
Yeah.
I feel like my mom criticized me or was negative in a way to protect me, right? So kind of like a don't count your chickens before they hatch type of situation. So if I were to be excited about something, she'd be like, well, yeah, but.
Right.
And I've adopted that too, and it is the single thing that hurts my husband the most in our relationship, is that he'll say something and I'm immediately, yeah, but.
Right. We have to just hope for the best, what's the saying? Pray
Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Right,
And
exactly.
so a lot of times my yeah, but is actually an affirmation. Okay, yeah, but in order to make sure that happens, because I think that can happen, that's definitely going to happen. I believe that will happen. That is amazing. So let's make sure that these pitfalls and manholes don't happen.
Right.
But it doesn't, nobody hears it that way.
Right, exactly.
They just hear, you know.
I know, I get it. Believe me, I get it. It just struck a chord with me. I just wanted to share that with you. But listen, we have to wrap up. Bobby, don't cut me off yet because I want people to know that they can go to Paige Davis on Facebook, and she's on Instagram as Real Paige Davis.
Same as Facebook, Real Paige Davis.
Real Paige Davis.
Twitter, Instagram. I love Instagram. Everybody follow me on Instagram. And on Facebook. Real Paige
We
Davis.
follow each other now, girl. We follow.
Like my page.
Oh my God, there's just so much more I want to talk to you about. Seriously, please come back anytime you want. Oh, and an homage to you. I always love that.
I noticed. I actually noticed that. I was going to say,
You always wore it on the show, and here's an homage to you, girl.
Patrick gave this to me. We were like 2 years into our relationship. He gave it to me for my birthday, and he said, I know it's not a ring, but it's my way of saying I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, I love
And
it.
I haven't taken it off. It's been 25 years, and I don't never take it
I
off.
love it. I love it. An homage to you, girl. And let me tell you something. Thank you so much for doing this, taking the time out. Come back anytime you want. You know, after you tape the show, the end of the month, whenever you want, you have an open invite. All right?
Okay. Maybe Beth and I will come on together.
Hey, yeah, my birthday month. Your birthday's October, right? October 14th?
15.
15th. My brother's the 12th and my sister's the 27th. My birthday's September 6th. It's my birthday month. I'm going to get you and Doug back on.
Done.
Deal?
Deal.
All right. Thanks so much, Paige. Say hello to Patrick. Stay safe. Love you.
I will. Bye.
Bye.